Hey guys, here. Today I want to go through the 7 most underrated cards in MUT 19 in my opinion. Now obviously these are not going to be like the best cards in the game. They're not going to be like the cheapest cards in the game. They're going to be kind of just like, I think maybe people haven't talked about them enough. People don't know enough. Kind of ones that flew under the radar a little bit. So let's get right into it. I'm going to do one for quarterback, one for running back, one for receiver, one for tight end, one for D-line, one for linebacker, and one for defensive backs. All right, so 7 total. Let's just start it off right on offense here. I want to go to a guy that's like crazy underrated in Josh Allen. So this card, 219K, essentially gets you production of like 600K guys or twice his price. This is as fast as Steve Young's card. Throw power, you can get that to 99 pretty easily with Go Deep. He's only one speed slower than Donovan McNabb. So if you like right-handed scramblers, like this is right there with the top end of the right-hand scrambler. He's faster than Cam Newton. He throws hard. Accuracy is enough, I think, with the Go Deep to get that up to 87. You might miss a couple passes, but, you just generally miss passes in Madden anyways. So, overall, like, when I used this card, I was actually kind of surprised with how well he played, and, he's got the movement out of the pocket. So, I think Josh Allen, kind of underrated. Not a lot of people talk about him, but he is right there with McNabb and Young as, like, the tier 2 under Vic for, like, scrambling, high throw power, decent, like, quarterbacks. So, get him if you need a guy or you're sick of McNabb or Young. All right, next up on the underrated, I'm going to go with Mr. Tarik Cohen. 91 halfback, 93 speed, which is very nice. Kind of one of the faster halfbacks. The agility is great on him. Elusive 94 and break tackle 91. A great mix of stats. Can catch the ball a little bit, kind of a disservice to his real life catching skills. But an all-around, like, great back. Obviously, don't try and chuck dudes. You can spin, you can juke, and then you get the high natural break tackle stats. So, like, this Tarik Cohen, going for, 110 right now, but has the performance of many backs, like, higher overall. So, also a great compliment if you got that Ricky Williams maxed out, if you got the Ricky Williams high. This Tarik Cohen is a phenomenal back. I liked using him, and I did use him for quite a while. All right, next up at wide receiver, let's go with Deion Sanders. You got to love speed at wide receiver. It's the most important stat in the field for skill positions. So that's the one that you focus on most. 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 95 agility. Amazing with the ball in his hand with 98 elusiveness, 93 spin, 99 juke. That doesn't matter. Break tackle, 98. So like this card, if he was a running back, would be one of the top running backs in the game right now too. So throw him on drags, throw him on streaks. Obviously, don't throw him into traffic. Don't throw him like slants where he's staring at Ray Lewis about to smack him. But overall, like, for what he does, for what he can do on drags, streaks, shots, shot plays, those kind of beaters and stuff. So he does it really well. Obviously, of course, like, the run blocking. So you got to scheme him in. But, man, he is amazing. He's just basically a cheaper Tyreek out there. Now, maybe he is well known that he's a very good player. I don't know if people talk enough about these out-of-position players and how good they are for their overalls, for their price. But I think this is kind of underrated, in my opinion, on Deion, even though people are aware of how fast he is. All right, and next up on kind of the underrated, I'm going to go with Ebron here. He's 136. So, I mean, these aren't like super budget cards, but 87 speed with spec catch at 91. One of the top speeds, one of the top spec catches in the game at 6'4". I was going to say Mutt Monster, like, say, Jimmy Graham. For another one, but like people know about Mutt Monster Jimmy Graham, right? Like nobody's talking about this Ebron as like a very good tight end. So man, I was thinking about doing like, well, do you just want the best spec catcher in the game at tight end? No, like so I went with more of a balanced guy. Obviously the run block's the same as like Mutt Monster Jimmy Graham, who's got like 70, so he's got 71. So not the most phenomenal run blocker. You can get like a Delaney Walker for that, but overall, a pretty well balanced, can do clear out routes and go up high and catch spec catches. So not too high price, just a little undervalued in my opinion. All right, let's switch over to the defensive side. Defensive line, this is going to be a quick video. Jerry Hughes. Now, this one was maybe better a couple months ago. Now we got a lot more D linemen, especially with this playoff promo, that are kind of hitting it. But I don't think people remember Jerry Hughes. 50K for 93 block shed and 91 finesse move. He's basically I would say a sheared without the name value, right? He's a 4-3 D end that can use the finesse move, use the block shed to kind of get around the edge there, and only 50K. So remember your Jerrys if you're kind of struggling for a D end or like a close to top end D end right there. At linebacker, I'm going to show like Josh Jones. This is phenomenal. This is a great user. 90 speed, 90 hit power at 6'2". Like, you got to know about this card. If you're putting together a budget team, this has to be on every single budget team in the game. Because he's only 2K, and he's got those kind of stats as your user. Woo! You got to grab that card. Absolutely have to have this card on your roster, in my opinion. But more, and then for defensive back, I don't feel like we know, like, people know about Megatron, but when he came out, everybody kind of like, oh, these cards are crappy because they're low overall. But this is still as an argument for the best user in the game. Just under 100K for the 91 speed at 6'5". Very nice. That's faster than Shaz. It's right up there with a lot of other DBs. The lot that came out. Obviously, you can boost him in speed with other methods like John Madden and whatnot. I think I got him up to 94 speed on my roster with Sprinter and John Madden. But 91 speed itself, 93 zone, you can let him roam on his own back there at free safety too. So it's not necessarily have to be user, but you got the really nice hand and catching stats, along with those athletic and jumping stats. So he'll get some glitchy picks for you, some glitchy animations, and be back there. Even if you don't want to use them, just let him roam on his own as your deep safety, and hopefully he won't get spec caught over, or ideally not the one to get spec caught over. The only thing is he's not an in-the-box safety, so block shed and hit power. Block shed's not terrible for a cornerback. Hit power is generally pretty bad all around there, but not a bad card at all. Maybe try and grab him for your squad too. I'm using him. Obviously, if you're trying to stop the run, I like using him in my linebacker spot in 3-3-5. Not the greatest if your opponent's gonna run the ball a lot, but overall a very nice card, and I think kind of underrated. We don't really, I haven't had a lot of talk, haven't heard a lot of chatter about this card like I have other cards that are kind of a higher overall safety. So those are my most underrated cards. Let me know what you guys think. Who are some underrated cards? Please let me know in the comments what you guys think. People are kind of passing over or not talking about or not understanding just the potential of these cards and what they are. So thanks for watching. Call to action. I'll see you tomorrow.